Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
I'm Dominic.
I'm Ashten.
We're Remember the Monsters, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. And as always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to have guitarist Dominic and guitarist Ashten of Remember the Monsters. Remember the Monsters.
Hi, how's it going?
Remember the Monsters hail from across the U.S. with members in Arizona, California, Texas, and South Carolina. Remember the Monsters also have released their new single and official music video for Sync. We're going to be talking to them about that. So, Dominic, Ashten, how's it going?
Going great, John. Thanks for having us on.
So let's jump right into this. How's it been working with Curtain Call Records so far for you guys?
Oh, they've been doing great. They've been pulling a lot of different slots for us. They've been getting us into battles, been reaching out for us. I mean, they've been a pleasure to work with. We're actually really happy to have them on board with us.
What's impressed or excited you the most about this single, Sync, if anything, guys?
I got to say, it's probably through the whole process, our first, really just professionally done single and music video. I mean, we went through Matt Good, who is a pretty big producer. He was in the band from first to last, and now he's doing music producing. He produced the single for us after we got it to him. He did a really great job. And after we were done producing it, we decided we wanted to do a music video for it. So we worked with video producer. His name's Jeremy Tremp, and he did an amazing job. I mean, it was like a full-blown, actual professional music video. We were really happy with how it turned out. So just the professionalism across all of it, the quality of work, I mean, it was just great, and we were really happy with what came of it.
For me, as a songwriter, this is one of the first songs I've really just felt could have a real impact on other listeners and our audience, mainly because the song speaks to me in a whole lot of ways, and just in terms of perseverance and getting over obstacles and, things that happen in your life that happen to everybody that, aren't necessarily things that you want to ever experience in your life, but you have to at some point. And this song is just about perseverance in my eyes.
It's amazing how things happen and how you can get pushed in that corner, and you see how much determination in a person and character that you have on getting back up off the mat or coming out of that corner, swinging and fighting, to not, be held down and things like that. So, yeah, I understand that completely.
Exactly.
Was it hard to choose between the current set of songs that you have written so far, which one would be the first single, let alone a video you wanted to release or push first, possibly?
I mean, we had a couple options. We had one song. We've actually switched between singers also. So we had a previous singer we were working with, and we had some material released with him, but then we had a new singer come on board, kind of change in direction. And he's brought a lot to the table, too. His name is Julian Camo. He was a great singer. We had one song that we worked on with him that we really liked, that we had kind of an animated video for. It wasn't what we would consider like an official music video for it, but we liked his style. We liked what he brought to the table. There was a couple other singles that we're working on currently, but when we heard this one and got this one together, we decided we really liked it. We thought it would speak to a lot of people. We hoped an audience would like it. So we were just like, this is the one. We're going to run with this one. And so far, we've gotten great feedback, great reception on it. So, I mean, we're definitely not regretting at all which song we chose to run with. But there were options, but this one we definitely feel was the right one.
Yeah, and with me, I was absolutely just gung-ho on this one song. I didn't want anything else to be out except for this one first.
You mentioned Julia Camo, who came in as the new lead singer. What has he brought to this band that may have been missing? Not knocking the other singer or anything like that, but what has he brought to this band of Remember the Monsters?
Oh, his general professionalism is the greatest thing I've ever experienced in my life as an artist and just in general. He brings his own songwriting skills. You know, it's not so hard on me per se. Like back when we were releasing songs with our older singer, I was the main writer and the only songwriter. And, you know, I'm not exactly complaining about that. Like, yeah, okay, cool. All of my songs get to be released, but it's a whole lot of work. Like it takes 12 hours a day sometimes just to get something going that you actually like. And then on top of that, you got to have someone else that you got to teach the whole song to. It's just with Julian, like I make an instrumental. I really like the instrumental. I send it over to him. He sends me back a finished product. Like it's really, really a good experience compared to the past.
Ashten definitely had a vision for the band, and we have this idea of what we want it to sound like. And bringing Julian on board, it was definitely brought a more collaborative aspect to it, to where it wasn't just one person does one thing, shoots it to the next person who does another thing and shoots it. I mean, it feels like we're really working together, a real collaboration that's bringing out kind of the best in everyone and not just one single person. So it's been a good experience, definitely.
Going forward with Julian, guys, are there any songs standing out more to you than any right now that you can talk about? I know it must change every time that you listen to these songs or you're working on these songs. For each of you, are there any that stand out possibly that could be on a upcoming EP or this album that you're working on?
I mean, we definitely have a few singles in the works. You know, names change, the setup for them changes, the way that they're put together. We don't want to spoil anything quite yet because we're definitely working hard on bringing new material to the future. But we definitely have one, if not a couple, singles in mind that we know we're going to proceed with going forward. We don't want to make any promises because, of course, you know, stuff happens and then, you know, one song might be used for something else or dropped entirely or based on what's going on with everyone. But we definitely have a couple songs in mind that we really want to get out there. So we'll be working on those, and you guys may get to hear them pretty soon.
Are we going to get an EP or are we going to get a full album? And when will this possibly be released? Maybe.
That's a great question. This single that we're releasing right now, Sync, it's the kind of the infancy of the band as it's coming out to the public. So this is definitely the first single. We want to get more stuff out as soon as possible. So we were probably trying to aim more for an EP, I'd want to say, just because we have some really good stuff that we want to get out there. There has been talks of a full-fledged LP. The material is definitely there. Yes, it's just a matter of we decide how soon we need to get it out there, how soon we want people to hear it. The reception that Sync gets is going to factor a lot into it. You know, we want to see if there are any additional resources, any additional, you know, things that can maybe help us in the journey to a full-fledged LP. But, I mean, it's really dependent on, you know, how this song goes. It's been out for a couple months now, and we're kind of just looking at it, seeing what fans think, seeing what the industry thinks, and, you know, just kind of making our decisions based on that.
Jeremy Trimp, he actually was a director on this little video. What led you guys to work with him, and can you see yourself working on down the line with him again? I'm
good friends with Luke Holland, and he does a whole lot of his drum videos, and I've just seen them, and I've seen how Jeremy works, and that man is a genius. And it was just always my goal/dream to work with that guy. And, you know, we hit him up with the song, and he loved it. And he just came at us with this whole idea for the music video, and we all just loved it and kind of came together and made it happen.
Yeah, Ashton's definitely got some pretty impressive connections in the industry without dropping too many names. But when he told me that, you know, there's this guy he wanted to work with, I mean, Luke Holland is definitely a great drummer, and his videos are phenomenal, and Jeremy Tremp's worked on those. So when he told me that we could see about getting Jeremy Tremp on board to doing our video, I was all for it. So, yeah, we're really happy with it. Would I like to work with him again in the future? Yeah, definitely, if we can.
So you talked about Matt Good a little bit earlier in the interview about him producing this single, Sync. He's worked with Hollywood Undead, Asking Alexandria, plus many others. How was working with him? Did he push you guys, and did he get something out of you that impressed you that somebody else may not have got out of you all?
I was the one in the studio with him for, I don't remember how long. I want to say it was like most of a day, like 12 hours maybe, something like that. Originally, we kind of just brought him a finished product. And I mean, yes, he did kind of push me to do more on guitar. In fact, Matt Good doesn't like electric distorted guitars anymore at all for some reason, even though I'm pretty sure that everything that he's produced after this song has distorted electric guitars in it. But he pushed me to do a whole lot of stuff on clean tones, and I don't usually do that, really. It's like I do, but not as much as I did in sync in one song. And he definitely pushed me to add that extra clean layer, and it adds this age to it, almost like fine wine to me, in my personal opinion, in the song on guitar. So yeah, he definitely pushed me to do more on guitar, and he's also a guitarist, so that makes sense. But the general experience working with Matt Good was amazing. He would just be sitting there, and he'd turn around and say one of the most vile, disgusting / hilarious things I've ever heard in my life, and then go make everybody die laughing, and then go right back to work. And I was not disappointed with anything that he did. The whole mix and master, the whole product was amazing. Like first try too. Like we didn't even have to go back and forth.
What do you hope everyone takes away from this single, or message you hope they hear while listening to it, or just any of Remember the Monsters music in general? Guys, what do you hope they get from it?
I mean, honestly, we hope that, our audience finds something that they can relate to in our music. A lot of it is finding music that speaks to you. I mean, the music market there's so much out there, so much being pumped out there these days, and then so many ways to access it that we really just hope that people resonate with it, can find something of themselves in it, what they're looking for. So that's the main thing, because people like to listen to that new music that kind of just resonates with them. But also, just to let them know that we came out with this great product, and we're brand new, but we're in it for the long haul. Remember the Monsters is going to be here to stay. So if you like what you hear, keep an eye out, because that's not going to be the last to hear from us.
Do you guys still see this band musically growing from where it started? I know you guys have switched lead singers, or has it just been more of a personal growth for all of you involved?
Well, me as an artist, I started making music, like whole songs, like as a composer, since I was 13 years old. And I knew I wanted to be an artist or in a band around maybe, let's say 15. And I started my first band at 16 that has nothing to do with anything that I'm doing today. Granted, obviously I've had my fair share of horrible songs to get to where I am today. So yes, absolutely, there has been tons of growth. But yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot in my adventure into being an artist, and I still absolutely want to continue doing that.
Your first foray into the music industry, it definitely opened some eyes. I mean, you come at it thinking, you want to get in, you want to make it big, you just got to come out with that one good track. And then, you start working with people, you see what it's like. The first thing people hit, I mean, as soon as you start getting your music out there, the first thing people hit you with is, look, there's hundreds of thousands of new songs being put into the industry on a monthly basis. So, you guys got to make sure. And I wouldn't want to say like they're trying to crush your dreams or anything, but they're definitely painting a realistic picture of what to expect. So you kind of grow into it the more you pursue it, because now you know what to expect. Your style changes, what's working, what people like, what people don't like, but on the same time, you don't want to compromise, your art. So it's definitely it's a balancing act, but you grow into it. And, big bands out there that have been doing this for years, their stuff doesn't sound the same 10 years down the line if they're still doing, music. So it's not even just from a personal standpoint, but in the music industry, you're going to have to grow. You're going to have to find out what works, what doesn't, and go from there,
And I'm sure you guys go back and listen to old stuff and cringe and be like, oh, I can't believe I sounded like that, or I can't believe I did that. Oh, goodness.
Well, I don't think I've ever done that. I listen to my old stuff all the time and just know for a fact that it would not work today, though I still enjoy it, some of it, not all of it.
What does Remember the Monsters bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now, if anything, guys? I mean, I know no one's reinventing the wheel, but what does this band bring to the table for music?
We blend a lot of different facets of music. We don't want to try to be a one-trick pony. So listening to Sync, you kind of get that kind of electro feel in the beginning with the opening, that kind of electronic opening that brings into the heavy guitar riffs, And then Julian, of course, isn't just like hardcore death metal screaming through the entire thing. he's actually really singing. He's got that kind of professional singer voice and persona that he brings to it. So what we're doing, and what's actually kind of bit us in the butt more or less, but it's confusing a lot of people, is that we're kind of cross-genre, and we're blending elements of electronic music, hard rock, singer-songwriter, where you have like this really, really clean, really soulful voice behind it. And, sometimes some people find trouble with placement on it because it doesn't fit exactly into the genre of music that they play. And it's been an interesting experience, but we feel like, I don't want to like toot our own horn too much, but I do want to say that it's kind of the evolution of what music should be doing. It shouldn't stay the same, always and forever. It needs to evolve. There needs to be new stuff out there. But then you've got stations that have been kind of playing the same style of music that they don't know what to do with it. So, getting placement's been kind of interesting, but we're definitely bringing new elements, new cross genres and styles to the table. So it's been an interesting experience.
What can fans expect at a show from Remember the Monsters, who have not got to see you guys live as of yet? What are they going to get when they come to see you live?
Oh, that's a great question. We've been working on, now that we've just released Sync, we've got more music in mind that we want to get together, just enough so that we can have a full, great experience, a full show full of great music for people to come. Wish I could give you guys a straight up touring, come to see us in the city at this date. And we're definitely working towards that. As of now, we don't have anything set in stone just yet, but we're definitely working towards being able to give people the experience they want to see when they go out and see shows. So, our website, if you go to rememberthemonsters.net, we do have, information about, if we are going to do shows, we'll put it all up there. We'll definitely announce it on our Facebook page, our Instagram page. You can check us out there. But once, we're ready and raring to go on shows, we'll definitely let everyone know for sure.
We're living in the digital era of recording albums to get music out quicker, and now plus we got social media to reach out to more people. Do you like this, guys, that we're living in right now?
I want to say from a release standpoint, it's definitely different. I feel like we would be at a different place right now musically that kind of followed the old formula, back when labels just used to listen to music, say, hey, this is great, we can do stuff with this, and then get, publishers and get CDs and stuff made and just get teams behind it. Nowadays, and I don't want to like trash on the music industry because we're dependent on how it works, but they're looking at social media following. They're looking at, okay, this song is great, but how many Twitter followers do you guys have? And the digital age plus the age of social media, it's definitely changed the ball game, and it adds that extra layer of work that you have to do to kind of get to where you want to be. But, it's the time and age we're living in, and you got to adapt. You got to run with it.
I mean, I personally wish I was born in the 60s so I could have been an artist in the 80s. Because, like Metallica just got together in the 80s and wrote fucking badass music. And, well, they're a massive success now because they totally deserved it. Whereas today, a band, exactly like how Dom said, could be an incredible, like just phenomenal artist and have, they have 100 Twitter followers. No one gives a shit about these guys. So, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but it does at the same time. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Obviously, the future things are going to happen. Things change, and you got to adapt. But there's just obviously things I don't agree with in today's music industry, but that's how it is.
I've been knocked out of interviews because they say, you don't have enough likes for Facebook or likes on YouTube or subscribers on YouTube or Twitter or Twitch, Instagram. And I'm like, you know what I do, putting all my time and effort into this doesn't speak, and all the interviews that I've done doesn't speak for the work and passion I have for this, then I don't care how many likes I get because it's not going to change. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Yeah. People like you are fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
You appreciate music. You like what you hear. You want to be involved in it. You're using social media as a means to contact and to get more information, but you're not basing all your decisions on how many retweets someone has or how many likes there. I mean, you can go online and you can buy Twitter followers and you can go buy Instagram followers. And it actually leads me to one of my interesting story that came out recently about this girl who has like I don't know, 2-3 million Instagram followers. So she posted that she's going to make her own clothing line through this company. And in order for them to continue producing, I think this T-shirt that she wanted to do, she had to get so many sales. And despite her like 2 or 3 million followers, she couldn't even get like 50 T-shirt sales.
Oh, God.
So in my personal opinion, what it boils down to is, having actual engaged followers, people that appreciate your stuff enough to actually invest in it, because otherwise, it's just a number.
Yeah, I'm going to be that guy who will interview anybody and everybody just about the stuff that I cover. If they go get knocked down by 15 people, I'll be that one to give them that chance, because I feel like everybody deserves that shot. Everybody.
Well, we appreciate you, John.
So I've seen it firsthand. It's miserable. I hate to see people get done that way. And I've been done that way. And I'll never, ever treat anybody the way I've been done. So kudos to you guys for what you do, because you're doing something that I would love to do, and I can't.
Well, yeah, we just got to keep fighting.
So when you two are coming into the recording studio, do you guys like to do anything differently to relax, to not let the music get stale, to not get bored with it? Do you do anything differently that may help you guys out possibly?
Well, me personally, I don't think I'll ever get bored with music. Since I was like a toddler, I was drawn to it. It's like an outlet for me emotionally. Just the basics behind music is just the most incredible thing you can experience, in my personal opinion. Just listening to how music, for example, would change a whole scene in a movie. It's just undeniably universal. And like it's a language that everyone speaks. And it's just one of the most amazing things to me to be able to do. And I don't see myself ever not wanting to do music or getting bored. That's not a thing for me personally.
Yeah. I mean, and touching back on a previous point, if you do the same thing over and over again, not only is it going to get stale or start feeling a little stale, but, the audience is going to start thinking it's getting a little stale too. So you obviously need to be innovative. You need to change things up. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again, because eventually, you will get tired of it. You don't play the same video game over and over after you've beaten it 3 times, depending on the video game. But, you definitely have to evolve. You definitely have to just progress and continually getting better. It's a never-ending challenge to just get better. You came out with this great song. How do you make the next one better? And then once that one, comes out and you like it and you get out there, how do we make the next one better? It's just constantly evolving.
Yeah, I would probably play the same video game over and over and over, which I have, and I still do.
As long as the experience is different, that's what matters.
Yeah, exactly what Dom said. Just in general, like, obviously I would never in a million years want to just play heavy metal and that's it for the rest of my life. But, you change it up, you diversify. I love doing new things in music all the time. Like the fact that we have electronic aspects in sync, and then prior to, I was gung-ho about doing orchestral things like Hans Zimmer was working with us, but it's really just me fiddling around with piano and strings and all kinds of stuff on the computer and songs, and I just wanted every song at that point in time to sound like a whole movie score with electric guitar and drums over it.
Ashten talked about a little bit earlier on what made him want to become a musician, but Dominic, what about for you, man? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do?
Well, I always wanted to be a musician because I thought it was badass. No, I picked up the guitar when I was 16, and that was I actually did take piano lessons for a while, but then I was always kind of, into the rock scene. I was in high school, so I was the angsty teenager, and I picked up the electric guitar, and then, you learn your favorite songs, and that's the great first step. You just the stuff that you like to listen to, you kind of do that. And then you start deciding, well, what can I do? What can I bring to the table? And then when you realize that regardless of everything that's out there, you still have the possibility to make something cool that other people would like to listen to, that you like to listen to, that there's that capacity there that you could create something that other people would like, even though, there's already a bunch of stuff out there that people like. One of the things that always, fascinates me is that I have my Spotify list of all the songs that I always like to listen to. Just like, there can't be another song that comes out that I'm going to like more than this one because this song's so great. And then somewhere down the line, another song comes out and you're like, holy, I love this song. Like, where did this come from? New stuff that you like can still come out. But then again, you can also be the one that makes that new stuff too. And just those possibilities were, what really drew me in, that there's still stuff to be created that people will like that's different than what's already out there.
Is there a country, guys, that stands out or shocks you both that Remember the Monsters get support from, or your music even gets played in right now?
Oh, we're actually, that's exactly what I was going to say. So we're working with this company called Random EQ and then Show Pro and Curtain Call Records, and they're helping us, reach out to radio and things like that. And then we're reaching out to social media and doing what we can to get the song out there. And then recently he sent a list of, hey, here's all the stations that have played you guys, that have picked you up, terrestrial radio, digital radio, podcasts, things like that. And like Ashten said, there's a station in the Czech Republic that was playing the song. I'm like, that's interesting. Brazil, one of the first releases that we did with our old singer was actually used in like anime music videos. And that actually drew a lot of attention to that song. So we got plays in like South America, Japan. Right now, Sync is playing in like Italy and Australia and France. There was a place in Amsterdam that was spinning it, which I thought was pretty cool. Our guy said that there was like a nightclub in Washington, D.C. that was spinning the track. And it's like a pretty fierce, energetic track that I could see being played in a nightclub. So I thought that was pretty cool. And just kind of being at the level we're at, seeing how expanded it's gotten so far. Like, it's getting out there, which is really cool to see. But yeah.
This album that you guys are working on, when are we going to possibly see this released, or is there no timetable as of yet?
No, I couldn't put a specific timetable on it quite yet. I mean, we're just finished releasing Sync. We're working on these other singles right now. We got to find the people to collab with to get it out there. It's not going to be as long between our previous single and our current single, I want to say. So, don't fall off the radar quite yet, but it's probably going to be a little bit.
Before I let you guys go, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Sure. I'm Dominic.
I'm Ashten.
We're Remember the Monsters, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Get out and check out our Facebook page. Also, get out and check out our YouTube page, and please subscribe and like us on YouTube as well. And hopefully soon we will have our Twitch link. And also get out and check out Remember the Monsters. Check out their single Sync that's out right now and the video for it. And you won't be disappointed. This is a really, really good song from these guys. So Ashten and Dominic, appreciate you guys for taking time out to do the interview. And keep up the good work. And I wish you guys the best of luck on all this.
Definitely, John. Thanks for having me.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.